And welcome back to the third hour of American Agenda. I'm Heather Childers.
And I'm Bob Sellers. Folks, we are waiting on the press secretary, Jen Psaki, to actually have another press conference today. It could happen any moment. Now, we may not take the entire thing, but we will dip in here a little bit. We know that there will be some questions on the new COVID plans to get it out there. We're also curious about what kind of tone. I mean, COVID has killed 400,000 people. The tone shouldn't be so honeymoonish as we saw yesterday. We actually need to get some answers as far as how to deal with the situation. So we're kind of interested also to see what the tone is as far as questioning the new press secretary. We're going to be doing that in just a moment when it happens. And we're also joined by our family of co-hosts, and we'll start with actress and former White House staffer Caroline Sunshine. And she has changed her location now. She's no longer in Saddam's cave. She is in the corner of a bunker somewhere, and we will ask her more about that in a moment. We're also waiting on Stacy Washington. Stacy on the right, co-chair of Project 21, should be with us in just a moment. But Caroline, let's start with this. Joe Biden already is being lauded as the weakest president. We talked to Dick Morris, and he said he's going to be controlled by liberals. Now, some are going as far as to compare him to the one-term president, Jimmy Carter, often considered one of the least powerful presidents ever. So how do you look at this as far as what we see, what we know about Biden and the dynamics? What's your take?
Yeah, well, first of all, you mentioned my background has changed, right? There's not this brick wall behind me, and it's sort of a metaphor, right, Bob. Really, it is. It's a metaphor because, as you can see behind me, it's a big, wide open space, and that is what the southern border is about to look like under a Biden administration, no doubt. So, it's a metaphor, a bad one. You know, I heard someone phrase it correctly. They said the Biden administration is going to be the weak leading the woke. And I think that about sums it up. You know, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not rooting for the Biden administration to fail. If the Biden administration fails, our country fails. And I, like a lot of people, have too much on the line if our country fails. But, you know, he had a very aggressive day yesterday. I'm sure that was the most work that he's done in a while, and he probably needed a nap. But nonetheless, you know, he took very aggressive executive action, 17 executive orders in one day in all of the wrong areas, and areas that will only weaken our country short-term and long-term, no doubt.
Yeah, he did more in a day than he did in the whole campaign. So, Stacy Washington, so Stacy Washington, give us your feel. We were making the analogy through Dick Morris that actually Joe Biden may be the weakest president since Jimmy Carter. And for those of us that were around then, he was a weak president. It was a one-term presidency. We went through a lot. We had this whole malaise thing. He gave what's called the malaise speech and never used the word malaise. That's how weak it came across. So I wanted to get your assessment for where we stand on Biden.
Well, I thought yesterday was really disappointing because he didn't really do anything for Americans. He spent all of that time making executive orders that benefit people in Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, people who really, and this is no offense to them because I think they have a beautiful country, the beautiful countries in South America, beautiful cultures, but they are not the ones paying the taxes here in America. And Americans are suffering from, our unemployment rate is too high, too many Americans are out of work, too many kids are out of school, too many Americans can't go to church, and too many businesses can't be open. So he signed a mask mandate. Well, that doesn't change anything for me. I live here in St. Louis County. We've had a mask mandate for 90 days, 4 months, something like that. We're already doing that. We have to wear masks on planes and in federal buildings. We're already doing that. What about opening the economy? What about getting a bipartisan group of legislators together with the teachers union?
I hate to be rude here. If we can show we've got the press secretary, let's listen in for a moment at the White House.